Hi, well, my name is Steve Maltz. I'm a writer. Sometimes as a writer, um, most of the time as a writer, I tend to write in sort of a free sense, in the sense of what God has put in my heart, and He gives me the skills and the time and the energy and the enthusiasm to sort of follow through, and a book appears somehow at the end of that great process. Other times, and I think this has only happened once, God has put something on my heart to take something that's already been written and just put my own sort of spin, if that's the right word, on it. And this is such a book. It's For me, it was a book that the intention was that it would actually be one that sort of reaches the wider church more than my normal books do. So I went for a traditional publisher to actually do the distribution and the promotion of it. The publisher being Malcolm Down Publishing, and so I gave him the book. It's a startling cover. It's a modern day adaptation of a book that, for me, was the definitive book on Jesus that I first came into contact with about 30 years ago when I was a young believer. It's called The Life of Times of Jesus the Messiah, and it's two massive, great volumes, and I've got them on my shelf somewhere. And the problem is, it's like one of those books. It's like, do you remember the book by that clever chap, was it The Brief History of Time, where it was like trendy to have it to be seen on your shelves. Not that you're ever going to read it, but it's good for people to think that you may have read it and that you've actually taken the trouble of actually buying it. That was this book. It was, that Lifetimes of Jesus was written in towards the end of the 19th century in a style that was very much of its time, which means the paragraphs are really long, the words are a little bit archaic, and it was for a different audience. And certainly you have to be pretty academic now, and pretty theologically inclined to gain the maximum benefit from reading it, if you can get to the end, and not many people have. I certainly didn't, but I knew enough about it to realize that there's so much treasure there that needs to be coaxed out just for the ordinary person to make use of. So that's what God put in my heart a couple of years ago, and I spent a year on this project. So basically, I've taken this, I don't know how many words there were, it's like 500,000 words, and knocked out 80% of it, and for the last 20% just rewrote it in a language that is more 21st century than 19th century. And this is the end result. It's been very well reviewed. I can't say it's sold that many, but we won't go into that. But I'm really, really proud of it, and it's something I would never do again. It's a real killer. It killed me for that, because it's important to retain the integrity of the original writing. So there's plenty of times when I'm using his voice. There are other times where it's my voice in order to bring things up to date. So I really had to restrain myself. Let's say I couldn't use my normal sort of voice in the whole book, only in places. But very proud of it. And if you really want a complete understanding of Jesus from start to finish, from a Jewish perspective, from the perspective of, let's say, his own environment, then the book, I think, will feed you more than any other. So that's enough waffle for now. I hope that you get it, and most importantly, actually gain from it. Thank you.